Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the number 1010th Black Widow figure we've reviewed this past month. This happens to be a comic version, and it happens to be one of the best releases they've had in a while. Now, don't stop watching the video just because I said that and you're gonna go buy it. There's some stuff we still need to talk about, of course, and I'd say that even if there wasn't because view time, but there is some stuff to talk about. But this is a pretty cool figure, pretty cool release. It's a shame it's not as wide a spread of release as some other ones, but it shouldn't be too hard to get a hold of, probably, I'm hoping, for most people. But it's pretty cool. It's a good release. So let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. This figure stands just about 16 centimeters, which makes it pretty close to, I don't know, about 6 3/8, something like that, depending on how you have her posed, of course. I have her head leaning forward just a little bit. Shouldn't really affect it too much. You get the idea. Plus, heck, all these Marvel Legends are built on the same bodies, give or take, anyway, so you know what size they are. But this is built on that really skinny, undersized build for an adult woman. And I know what you're gonna say, Black Widow is not the thickest of the thick people. And that's true, she's not. But she is built like a woman, a very physically fit woman. And this lady has like long distance runner legs, and that's just not Black Widow, so it's definitely a bummer. The upper body I think is fine for this figure. I don't think she needed anything else helping her out there as far as curviness. I think that's okay. And I know people that are new to these videos are probably thinking, why is he mentioning that? It's because there's a trend going on with Hasbro right now to make all of the women, the figures of women, look like teenagers. And that's just not character accurate, so that's why we mentioned it. Very skinny legs, upper body looks good. Other things, aesthetically speaking, on this figure. The wrist things are metallic, that's very nice, the gold is good. The pouches, definitely not the best sculpt in the world, not the best belt design, but that's the character design, can't help that. They're kind of like a mustardy color, they're okay. It's kind of nice that they're not gold, because they're not supposed to be gold, and that would have been the kind of thing I would have expected to see, so that's good. The jacket is a little bit glossy, so that kind of can give it the leather look if it's supposed to be a glossier leather, shinier leather. The A logos on the shoulders, not too bad. Let me zoom in on that so you can see that. The A logos look pretty nice. Come on, there we go. A logos look good. The Spider-Man logo on the chest, that looks pretty clean as well. Even the little violin thing on the back, that looks really nice, the hourglass shape. She does have a spider logo back here. Mine is totally off center. Can't see it anyway though, so it doesn't really matter, but no big deal there. As for the face, it's not bad. I don't love what they've done, but I don't dislike it either. It's just, it's fine. I get what they were going for. I'm not sure it captures the likeness very well, but what is there is done nicely enough, so that's good. The face is alright. There is another eye under here, by the way, and that looks good. The hair has a little bit more of a soccer mom vibe than it probably should, based on the images in the comics, but it doesn't look terrible. It's okay. The shading in the hair, not their strongest. We've seen a lot better shading from them, particularly when they use washes in the hair. Even the white Black Widow lady I reviewed not that long ago had really nice hair. This one, it's really splotchy and chalky looking, the shading, but from a distance it won't look too bad. So other than the legs being too thin for this character, it's a really nice looking figure. Aesthetically speaking, it's got everything you want out of a $20 price point figure, give or take, of course, because it's just a Hasbro Marvel Legends. So yeah, I could definitely use some shading throughout for sure, things like that, but still not bad. So I'm gonna give it an 8 for the aesthetic. It is pretty good looking. And now as far as the accessories go, this is where this figure really shines. We have 2 fist hands that come on her in the package. We have 2 wide open hands. Those will be good for like various poses where she's like got her hand on the ground and doing the Black Widow pose. That's a thing. And then we also have 3 different sets of her wrist thingies. We have the normal ones that come on her in the package. We have one set where it's got like a little blast effect thingy, like it's shooting. And then we have one where it's either smoking from having been fired or releasing a gas. You get to use your imagination, but either way, those are all done very nicely. They did a good job using translucent plastic and applying paint properly, so that is awesome. And then we do get this backpack. I don't know how much people want this. I mean, maybe some people really like it. To me, when I think of Black Widow, I don't necessarily think Rocketeer, but either way, we get a jetpack with the shield logo on it. It's not bad, it looks good all the way around, and then we do have these additional little thruster blasties, which also look very nice. So maybe not the best range of accessories, maybe some guns would be nice, but she has the wrist thing, so it's not necessary. So I think that's a good batch of accessories. I'm going to give it a 9. I think Hasbro did a really good job with that. Now, as far as the articulation goes, again, there's not a whole lot new here, but I'll go over it anyway. The head does have a lollipop situation going on, where it does sit way too high off the neck. You can see that gap there. That shouldn't be there. But if you mush it back properly, you can kind of erase the gap, and the head, the way it's sculpted, it still sits properly on the neck, more or less. So you should be okay, you should be able to pose it, but using that lollipop, it does have all kinds of lean on that ball peg. The hinge, not helpful, really. When you have a lollipop situation, that hinge only exacerbates it, so you don't really want to worry about that too much. Just kind of leave the hinge in one place and just use that ball peg to pose the head around, and it should be okay. But as you can see, we have definite lollipop. That's no bueno. As for the shoulders, full rotation of course. They do come out all the way to the side, that is fine. No bicep swivel up there, but you get it down here, so that's okay. About 90-degree bend. Wrists have a swivel and a hinge. Hinge is probably not that helpful, but it's there. And of course, these guys are loose. Now the diaphragm joint on this figure, it goes all the way back, which is really nice. There is a gap there. There are ways to account for that, but generally speaking, with this kind of joint, just don't lean it all the way back and you won't see the gap. You have to have that gap there to some extent in order to have the range it has. So you kind of have to choose. There are ways around it again, but this is a single ball peg and it's hard to do. They don't lean, it doesn't lean that far forward, unfortunately, just really far back. Side to side is really good, like really good. And then you have your rotation. So I'm pretty pleased with that overall. That's fine. Floaty belt is floaty. Doesn't get in the way anyway. The hips still suck on this mold. Not even 45 degrees out to the side. The hinge or the pivot point is way too low in here. And this part of the leg just bumps into her special place. So it doesn't work, but it does go forward pretty well. She can kick a little bit better than horizontal, so that's pretty nice. You don't get too much range going back, but you get a little bit. You get a thigh swivel, double jointed knees, and then for the ankle, it goes all the way back and not very far forward at all, but you get a decent enough swivel for the ankle hinge or ankle rocker. A little bit of looseness in the hips for sure on mine. That is not great. This knee's a little floppy. That's probably gonna vary from figure to figure. So I'll give the articulation an overall 7. There are some really good things about it, but other things suck, especially for Black Widow. Bad hips, not a good situation. So it's a strong release. It's not like an incredible release, but for a Hasbro figure, I think this is what we should expect on a much more regular basis. Maybe not every figure. We're still gonna get a few duds here and there, and I get that. But I think this is closer to what we should be seeing way more frequently. So I'm going to give this final verdict, a final verdict of 8. I'm going to go 8. It's a really strong release. If you're into Black Widow at all, or just cool enough figures, this is one to pick up. So I think that covers everything. That's Black Widow with short hair and a jacket, and it's a good figure, so there you go. Let me know what you guys think about this figure in the comment section below, and if you liked the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down, and if you haven't subscribed, you might want to. I have new videos out almost every single day, except for like when there's a big dry spell, like right now. I don't, but if I don't, I do have thousands of videos already on the channel, so you can check those out in the meantime. And I shouldn't have said meantime, because now I have to say it again. I don't have to say it again, I guess. But you should check out all of those things, come back for them. Now I have to say it. And in the meantime, keep collecting.